Paul McCartney and I had become friends. He was going out with my sister. He'd end up sharing the top floor of our family home with me, and so we became good friends. We lived together for a couple of years, and during this time I heard a lot of songs being written, and there was one song that he played me and explained that it was kind of an orphan song because he played it to John and John wasn't keen on it, and the Beatles were not going to record it. So it was unfinished, never bridged. And a little while later, Gordon and I were lucky enough to get spotted by a talent scout for EMI and signed up to the label. So we had a record deal, we had an upcoming session, and I went back to Paul and said, look, is there any chance we could do that unfinished song that I heard? Could you finish it? And he said, well, you can certainly have it because we're not doing it, you're welcome. And I did have to nag him a bit to write a bridge, which he needed, which he did just shortly before the recording session. We went in the studio and recorded several songs, including this one. And by the time the session was over, everyone was in agreement that this was going to be our first single. It came out a month later, in February of '64, went to #1 in the UK, all over Europe, and eventually #1 in the land of our dreams, the United States of America. And that meant, it meant not only that we had a #1 record, which was cool, but what it really meant to us was we were going to get to go to America, which I dreamed of doing all my life, and indeed I eventually moved here, of course, in 1970. So this is the song that changed my life and began my career in the music business. It's called World Without Love. 1, 2, 3, 4. Please lock me away and don't allow the day here inside where I hide with my loneliness. I don't care what they say, I won't stay in a world without love. Birds sing out of tune and rain clouds hide the moon. I'm okay, here I'll stay with my loneliness. I don't care what they say, I won't stay in a world without love. So I wait, and in a while I will see my true love smile. She may come, I know not when. When she does, I know. So baby, until then, lock me away and don't allow the day here inside where I hide with my loneliness. I don't care what they say, I won't stay in a world without love. Wait, and in a while I will see my true love smile. She may come, I know not when. When she does, I don't know. So baby, until then, lock me away and don't allow the day here inside where I hide with my loneliness. I don't care what they say, I won't stay in a world without love. I don't care what they say,